Sorry about that. I put the timer back on accident. Holy the lads, everyone. Welcome to a new show. We are live here on the American Magpie and NUFC Insiders. My name is Chris, the American Magpie. And I got Mason. I got the Mighty Win in the back. Showed up late.
There
Roy.
it is.
Roy
Yeah,
showed up late too. But yeah,
bang on time.
yeah. How you doing, fellas? Everything good?
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
All right. We got a match preview, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's match time. We've been talking a lot about it. Well, I will have to redeem myself after I finish this, but we will talk about the match. We talk about a lot about news, and this is I was gonna say it's good to talk about a match coming up, but I do have some news before we get to the match preview. And we'll get to that. Roy, I don't see you at all. You're blank, so might be your camera. I'm not sure what's happening, but I will mute you meanwhile because I see a little bit of static. Listen, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the show. And by the way, you can become a member of the show, win prizes. At the end of the month, we're going to be giving away a home shirt, Newcastle brand new home shirt. If you become a member, you're going to get a shot. If you become a member of the first tier, you're going to get your name added to the raffle twice. If you're an ultimate member, you're going to be able to get your name added 5 times. And
Good morning.
What's up, Roy? What's up? Are you gonna get your name added 5 times and also enjoy exclusive content? You know, the Once Upon a Time podcast just came out today. Me and the Mighty Win, we talked about the beginnings of Newcastle United, the merge, Newcastle East End, Newcastle West End, how they merged and made love, and then a beautiful baby came out named Newcastle United. So you're gonna be able to enjoy it if you are an ultimate member. So go ahead and enjoy, become a member of the show. Um, by the way, we have a second channel that's called the NUFC Insiders Clips, where we put small glimpses and clips of the shows there, about two videos a day. So we just clip everything up and put them into short videos. So enjoy that one. I will put the link in the chat once we go towards the end of the show. But yeah, let's talk about some news. And we're going to talk about the preview in just a minute. I don't want to spend too much time on these news, but yeah, I want to get your take on some of the things that are happening. I really wanted to make a full a preview of the whole show, but some things are being said, are coming up, and I want to get your perspective. Well, number one, I definitely want to get Derek's perspective on this that came out today. He's been defending Ashworth nonstop, but he defends everybody. That's okay. But Sir Jim Ratcliffe came out and he said it is absurd for Newcastle to place sporting director Dan Ashworth on gardening leave as Man United continue, 20 million euro pursuit for the Magpies DOF. And he said, well, let me see where he's exactly what he, but
Right.
basically he said it's absurd. It's absurd to put him on leave.
The rest doesn't matter.
But,
what is absurd?
Yeah, exactly.
What is absurd is Ratcliffe thinking that he can just walk into Newcastle United and pay no compensation at all and take the acknowledged best director of football in the country to Man United. That's what's absurd. It doesn't matter what else you are going to say.
Yeah,
that is absurd. The fact that he thinks he can walk into Newcastle United and take our director of football and that there be no consequences and everybody's happy and that is what is absurd.
Yeah, you're right. I do agree with that. I mean, and I'm glad to see that you're in agreement with that as well. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know if he's trying to play a game to where how some people come out and say trying to create something out of a narrative. I don't know what he's trying to do really. Maybe he's trying to get his fans behind him. I guess that could be.
You're trying to say that I am constantly defending the indefensible. Listen, I am the voice of reason. And I will continue to defend Dan Burn. I will defend Sean Longstaff to a degree, although I'm losing a bit of patience. I will defend Miggy. I defended Mackie.
Yeah.
Not Miggy.
So yes, I defend people, not just because they're Geordies, and I'll defend Dan Ashworth insofar that the reason we went and got him was because he was best in class, and the reason Man United have come and taken him is because he's best in class.
All right. Well, I mean,
So,
all right.
so you say I'm defending Dan Ashworth. I'm not. As far as
Well,
I'm concerned now, Dan Ashworth's a twat, right? End of.
there we go. Look at that. Well, that was
Because
a
he,
that's a big contrast from
no,
what we've
no,
been
no. I
hearing.
said exactly the same thing on Friday, last Friday.
Okay.
What
Before
I'm
we go,
saying, what
go ahead, finish.
what I'm saying is that does not detract from the point that he's damn good at his job.
Okay, we're gonna actually talk about that a little bit because I do have every single player that he signed, and we're gonna debate that. We're gonna see if you're right or I'm right, and I haven't read it yet, so we're gonna get to that. But let me
Yeah,
get
but hang on though, hang on though.
okay. Okay, finish up.
What you're going to do is you'll have a list of players there that signed before he actually officially took his job,
Well, I mean, again,
and those that were signed after officially he took his job.
okay.
Let's
Now,
just look at the ones
Dan
after.
Ashworth, and this is the whole point here, by the way, Dan Ashworth was on gardening leave for a long period of time before we eventually agreed a fee to buy him. And you're not telling me that during that period of gardening leave, Dan Ashworth wasn't already working on
Not
the
working.
deals that you are going to say now
Well,
weren't concluded within
No,
his tenure.
but you don't know
no one
who
knows.
and what I'm gonna say yet. But hold on, I think you know you've been drinking an energy drink or something. You've been drinking too much wine. You know what I mean? Too
Yeah,
much wine. I'm gonna go Roy's take first. I wanna
yeah.
just get your take. And again, please, the people in the chat, help us get to 60 likes this video. I don't know what the stream the poll says, 50 or 60 likes. That helps us a lot to keep growing. So help us reach that much as we go to Roy in his take on Sergeant Ratcliffe saying that it is absurd for Newcastle United or anybody Newcastle United. He said Newcastle to put somebody on garden leave because they want to leave your club. What do you think, Roy?
Well, he wants him, doesn't he? So that means he rates him. That means he needs to pay the 20 million that's in his contract. If you don't want him, don't pay the money. He can stay with Newcastle. Simple
Oh,
as that.
no, no, no,
But he's
no.
not. But he's not going to stay now. He's not going to stay now anyway. So he's been the bridge is gone. So pay, or he's going to stay on his garden and leave. 2 years is it? Something like up to
Well,
2025 or something.
about a year and a half, a year and a half.
Yeah. So just pay and take him, or just leave him there.
Those bridges are burned. He's never coming
Gone.
back.
It's gone. And I've heard from loads of people. It's not just that he wants to leave because he wants to go and get more money in the project. He's not happy with some of the other people and staff interfering with what he's doing. So he hasn't got full control that he had in Brighton, which I think they guaranteed him that he's going to have when he's at Man U, because they're numpties anyway. Look at who they signed.
Right.
It's like a little boy in a candy shop with 200 quid. That's what Man U's are like exactly. So yeah, if you want him, pay the money, take him, or just shut up. He's trying to gain a bit of attention as well and getting the fans on his side and get them to tell you what. 3-4 months from now, you're gonna see the yellow and green scarves out.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
Mason, what do you think about it, man?
Yeah, I feel like the whole scenario was getting a little bit pathetic. I mean, it's fairly simple. Just pay the money. If you don't pay the money, just leave it. Just leave it.
Well, that's the thing though, Mace, that at the end of the day, Newcastle, and I'm not saying that we haven't been, culprits of doing this before, but and we actually, I mean, sort of kind of We did with Brighton. But I'm saying this is the nature of the beast. When somebody wants to leave, Newcastle is really hanging by you know what, because he has to leave. They can't bring him back. He's not gonna come back in a good environment. So they have to sell him. If they don't want to play 20, then what do you? I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not. I don't think that fans, when fans say, well, you know, he's not. We're not going to pay him to stay off work a month and a half. I'm not necessarily 100% that they wouldn't do that. I mean, we got players that get paid more than Ashworth that are on their books that are sitting not playing, and so that doesn't seem to bother as much. So I'm just saying that. But you go ahead, finish your point, man.
The fact is, as well, as I've just said, he just needs to just not say much on it, because he's going to make the media see more. And obviously, and I agree with Roy. Norwich City scores to be out in force in about as you just said, 3 or 4 months, because if some of the fans didn't want him because of what he's done with Neeson. I think there's another, and what he's done with I think it's one of the F1 teams. If he does it with Man United, and that is a Man U fan, but the fact is, he won't be liked. He'll be on the same level as the Glazers.
Yeah, and also one of the things he said as well, which is crazy, that I don't give a damn, but he said that he believes Manchester taxpayers should be paying for uh to build or rebuild their stadium, which is nonsensical to me. How do you even work that out when there's 2 teams in the damn city? How do you do it? You know what I mean? Like, or is it just Manchester United? You know, are there regulations in the well, I would call it state here because we got states, but I'm just gonna use the same word, or the city of Manchester, or I don't know. In America, it would be the state of Manchester, rather said. Uh, you know, how do you divide? How do you know which ones are fans, and it's just a bunch of nonsense. I don't understand somebody that has made billions in his life. How can he come up with that? I mean, and
But
what about the people that are not fans of football?
the fact is that he said he wants the Man U fans to chip in with the stadium redevelopment.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
it just shows you he's probably on the same path as the Glazers with the like the financial side of things, but to tell the fans to chip in to pay for stadium redevelopment, it shows
yeah,
that he's not like all owners or
right.
that Qatari bloke, if he's still interested in Man United. That's for it to be said.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day,
He's
that's not
not.
that's not my problem nor my concern. But I'm just saying that's how delusional it sounds. But listen, now,
Chris,
yes,
and I just you may not be aware, but one of the massive bits of luck that Man City had at the same time as that takeover was that the Commonwealth Games, which is like the second biggest sporting competition, well, third if you count the World Cup, but second biggest athletics sporting competition in the world after the World Championship, after the Olympics and the World Championship, is the Commonwealth Games. And Manchester won the right to stage the Commonwealth Games. The Etihad Stadium, as it is now, is actually the stadium that the government built for the Commonwealth Games, which when the Emirates came in, they were able to take over. It was a ready-made, 80,000 seater stadium, in much the same way that West Ham have done
yeah,
with the London Stadium. That stadium was built by the government for
right.
the 2012 Olympic Games, and West Ham have walked into that. That doesn't make a lot of their supporters very happy. They're like up in park, but
Yeah, and again, I mean, I just pointed that out. At the end of the day, what Manchester do, I could care less. But Tony, what is your quickly your take on what Ratcliffe said today about it would be absurd. It is absurd for Newcastle to pretend or to basically put somebody on leave, for a year and a half because they want to leave the club. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's absolutely right. Ashworth's made it clear he doesn't want to be here, so doesn't want to be here as far as I'm concerned. Go. Absolutely. And for Ratcliffe to come out and say, and I mean it as in Ratcliffe, because he is a rat. But for him to come out and say stuff like that, like, oh, we're being silly and letting them stay on garden leave and he's too good of a sporting director to be hung out to dry. I'm sorry, at the end of the day, tell you what, Man United, come and pay the money, right? And absolutely spot on from Newcastle to want as much as they possibly can grab out of Man United. Screw the bastards for as much as you can. Excuse my French, but that's what I'm saying. Screw them for as much as you possibly can. Because, look, they tried to screw us over for Lingard. They wanted a stupid relegation clause in case we, like a survival clause. So if we stayed up that season, we had to pay an extra 15 million on top. Well, I'm sorry. If they're going to do that for Lingard, we're going to do the same for Ashworth. It's tit for tat. And the thing is, our owners won't have the wool pulled over their eyes. And they will not. We know what the owners are like. They've done it with transfers when they've gone to clubs and said, look, we'll pay this for a player. And they say, no, 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 we want this. The owners will walk away because they will not be bullied. And Ratcliffe is the new man on the block. And he looks like somebody who sleeps in his car all night because he always looks
It looks rough, doesn't it?
untidy and unshaven and rough and scruffy. But I'll tell you what, if you want Ashworth, pay the money. Pay the money. That's as simple as that. Show your hand.
I agree. Before we again, we're gonna go through this and then we're gonna do the preview halfway through the show. We might go long on this one. You guys tune in when we do long shows. So, but before we start with the match preview and talking about all that, I wanted to go through the Chronicle puts up every single signing under Dan Ashworth rated according to them. Also keep in mind that the mighty win before he kills everybody. He said that these are not all the signings because he's been working when he was on gardening leave. After he wanted to leave Brighton, he was okay. Well, I mean, we got to go with the official word, mighty win. I know that you don't like it, but that's just the way it is. Because at the end of the day, we don't know. We don't know.
Let's go with the official one.
So we're gonna go official. Okay, so what the Chronicle, and then let me know your thoughts in the comment section, by the way. And of course, right now we got 44 people live. Smash the like button. We only got 26 likes. Come on, that's the only way that we grow the channel. So please smash the like button. It's free, and you're out there, chilling and enjoying the show, or just like the show, so you can help us out. So we're gonna go with the successes of what the Chronicle says. They are success, which to be honest, some are. What was that?
It's the comic. It's not the Chronicle. You've got it wrong. It's the comical.
The comical. Well, they say. Well, obviously, look, Nick Pope. They got Nick Pope came in June 2022. So we're gonna go with Nick Pope. 10 million euros from Burnley. We could say that Nick Pope is a good signing. I mean, he's really a proper signing. And of course, Eddie Howe, has put him on in the pitch every time, obviously, until he got hurt. So we all agree with Nick Pope. The next one is Van Botman. I would, 35 million euros from Lille, June 2022. I mean, did anybody have an objection with Van Botman? I mean, Botman. Okay, what do you got?
We've been linked with him for about a year or something before.
Okay,
so
but at the end of the day, Dan's job is to get the deal done. If nobody got the deal done until he got there,
fair enough. Yeah,
well, that's fair enough. So yeah, all right, there we go. That's I'm not biased, mighty win. I'm defending Ashworth when I believe he needs defending. Right now, look at mighty win. He's texting Ashworth right now. Look at this show. They're talking. It's like they're talking shit about you, babe. Yeah.
God. But the thing with Sven Botman is, we actually looked at him in the January when he was playing for Lille, and because Lille wanted so much money for him, there was no we were paying that money. So we waited until the summer when we got him a lot cheaper. Lille wanted about 50, 60 million quid. They kept shifting the goalposts. Ashworth were in place then, so you could say Botman is an owner signing because we looked at him well in advance. Yes, Ashworth may have well got the deal done, but
then
Ashworth
again,
didn't scout him or anything.
No, I understand that, but also part of his job, and it's not an easy thing, is getting the deal done. I mean, that's you got to negotiate. You got to Sven Botman. I would assume that other clubs wanted him, so you got to give him his due on that. I mean, I think again, we just don't know 100% what happened. I mean, but we're just gonna go with the list that these people got on here, which we'll get to it. All right, the next one, Alexander Isak, 63 million euros from Real Sociedad. August 2022. Broke the club's transfer record for a good reason. Isak has been Newcastle's focal point in attack, and he's only getting better. I believe on a good day he is the best striker in the league aside from Haaland. Came in when Ashworth was in command. So anybody have an objection, or like Tony, he made a good point. Anybody want to say something? Mighty Win is, man, he is having like a lot of fun right now. Everything is great. I was gonna say something. I don't know if we're good to say it yet. It's not that late yet in the UK, but he's very excited about this whole part of the conversation yet.
He's
and no
playing Candy Crush.
Oh yeah, man.
Number one in the world.
And no, Mighty Win is getting stiffer and stiffer. The more we talk about the more the better. The more we talk about the national. Okay, so Alexander Isak. Now I will say just those three names. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now the next one, Anthony Gordon, 45 million euros from Everton, January 2023. Now, this is a talented prospect. Again, he is a talented player. He's not a set player. We don't necessarily know what he's going to be. He's not at a level to me to say this is one of the best players in the league. Like I said, Isak, but he is a very good player, a lot of good talent. And, you can say that he is, he does his ups and downs, but to me, he's a really good signing. Anybody else have an objection with that? Everything good? Man, look at the Mighty Win. Mighty Win, I'm telling you, man.
Oh, he's right. He's taking notes now. Look.
We this is
now
just as much good as we've been talking about Ashworth. It's like the blue pill for Derek. It's like he's you don't have to take your blue pill today, man. Okay, next, Tino Livramento, 35 million euros from Southampton, August 2023. Everybody wants to pull Livramento in over Burn. Roy,
he's the right player in the wrong time for me.
Okay. So you look at him for as far as a project. You don't know really.
If we didn't have the Champions League this season, I would have thought absolutely perfect. We had the Champions League. We had to make the squad stronger, first 11 stronger, which he didn't with that one. We could have bought something else for this season. I mean, he's coming good. Well, he's not even playing now. Even in the middle of the crisis, he had 4 or 5 games. Once Burn was back, Burn was starting again. So, right player for the wrong time. So they got that one wrong, I think.
Livramento?
For this season. So he's the right player. He's good. Nothing wrong with him. It's that we didn't need him at this point of the project.
Chris, I've got to come in here, right? I've got to come in.
Go on, Derek. Come on.
Go ahead, man.
Somebody's just wound him up.
Because we're talking about Ashworth, you're saying Tino, right player,
No. I said
wrong time.
No, I said that. I said that in August. I said that.
No, you said right player, wrong time. By the way, I agree entirely with what you said about in summer we should have been signing first team ready players. That's what we should have been doing.
Wait a minute. So we could have said the same thing.
But what I'm not going to have you do is say Tino right player, wrong time, and then for the last 6 months be going on about why Tino should be replacing Dan Burn.
I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you, Derek.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways.
No, he didn't take his pill today, Roy, because
Yeah.
See, no, admit it, man. You take it back. Go ahead, take it back,
Yeah,
Roy.
Yeah, no. Anyway, yeah. No, I
You
said
cannot have it both ways.
I'll find my tweets from August or
Okay,
first
find
of
your
September. Yeah,
Find your tweet, send it to me on WhatsApp, and I'll put it up.
Honestly, I got battered, mate. I got battered, and people are like, "Oh no, this is this. How dare you?" And I said, "Look, we've got Champions League coming. We've got this." And suddenly,
And I agree.
6-7 weeks later, we start having injuries, and then everything went upside down. And then all those players, or what, 3 out of the 4 who we bought, besides Tonali was the right one, I think.
Yeah, agree.
Bonds,
Hold on,
okay.
let's go with the list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on, don't skip.
Anyway, yeah, Livramento for me was right player, wrong time. That's it.
Okay, well, that's his opinion, Derek. This is a free, America's a free
Absolutely,
country.
absolutely.
America's a free country, and as far as I know, the UK is a free country. So stop trying to persuade people, man. Are you trying to groom Roy? Stop trying to groom him.
That's easy. That I know his secrets.
Stop trying to groom Roy. You know what I mean? We're not gonna lie, no grooming in this channel. All right. So we got Livramento there. And Beer Riker says Tino should be starting ahead of Burn. Put it to a poll, Chris. We you know what, we might do that, but let me finish the list.
Yeah.
So now, according to the Chronicle, I'm not missing any more what you would call, success stories. But actually, just to finish that point, I mean, you said Livramento is Derek. You said Livramento is, or the thing is, you can put Gordon in the same situation,
No.
because they are not made players.
What I said was that in summer, which I agree with Roy with, we should have been signing.
Yeah, no, I know that, but
we should have been strengthening the first team, the first 11, and not the bench.
But Roy, no, but my point was you're fighting with the wall, Derek. I agree with you.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But so
that's
Roy,
what Livramento is. He's a fullback.
Yeah, but you didn't say that about Gordon.
No. Gordon came last January.
It doesn't matter.
No.
They're promises. They're not.
Gordon, that's right. Sorry, Gordon came halfway through the season. Yeah.
Yeah. So Gordon came last January. We're in the middle of the season, and
he was gradually worked in.
Right.
Gradually, and then we got Barnes as well. So we had
Barnes came in the summer.
No, I mean, yeah. So we got Barnes in the summer, was 25 or 26. So we had those two for that left wing area. So that was fine. It's Livramento. Livramento. Because you know who else we lost? Ashby. We bought Ashby last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Hells who's are I don't know.
So wait. Ashby,
hold on.
Ashby should be on the list.
Oh, there we go. No, but listen. Hold on, man. The chatters are really important, and I'm showing your comment, Hells who's are, but because I know you're using the mighty win emoji. It doesn't show on StreamYard, but it does show in the chat. But actually, not seeing your comment on the chat. So I'm just letting you know I didn't block you or ban you. I don't know why it doesn't show your comment. Maybe because it said free country, something like that. Your comment, and it feels like, because YouTube is crazy when it comes to politics. They don't want to have no freedom of speech, so they're just gonna. I think they blocked you. So just don't tell YouTube, because they're gonna ban me too. But yeah, I think that's what's happening. So I just don't think that I banned you, brother. I don't. You're great. But all right, so we're gonna go with the flops. I'm just saying. Hold on.
It's not a flop. It's not a flop though.
No. I'm gonna go with what the Chronicle says are flops, according to from the time that Ashworth has been. The sign is that weren't successfdo. And again, Derek, relax, man. It's time to take your pill right now, because you might not. I just want somebody. Do we have an ambulance outside of Derek's house?
It's a big list of flops.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, well, we're gonna get to it. Matt Target 15 million euros from Aston Villa, June 2022. I mean, not playing much. He got hurt against Manchester United, to say the least.
Yeah.
You know, anybody want to have a say or disagree with that?
Yeah, I mean,
Fantastic
he
signing.
wasn't an Ashworth signing, though, was he? Because he come in
Come
on
on,
loan.
Derek, man.
I can't say how he was an Ashworth signing.
But we're talking about June
No, no,
2022.
no.
Why are we? We
No, no,
you
it-
didn't
well-
say all that whenever we talking
Well,
about.
sorry. To make the move permanent, because we signed him on loan way
Yeah, it
before. We
worked.
signed him on loan at the same
Okay.
time we got burned.
Okay, then that is. You know what? You're
With a
right,
few-
Derek. Go ahead, Tony.
Was
And,
with a
and
view to it.
by the way, Target was instrumental in us
Staying up.
Okay,
getting away from relegation.
there we go. Okay, so Tony, finish your point, man.
So Target was
Yeah.
a good
I
signing.
said Tony. Damn it. There we go, Tony.
So yeah, so Target came in on loan, obviously with a view to a permanent move. But yes, he did well for that loan period. You know, he was instrumental in helping us stay up, along with the other players that came in as well. But since then, when he made his move permanent, which, you know, okay, it might be under when Ashworth was there, but it wasn't Ashworth signing. But when he did make the move permanent, it hasn't really worked out for him. And somebody who's sitting on 100 grand a week
Ooh.
in the summer needs to be offloaded. And I'm sorry, he needs to be offloaded in the summer.
Hey, that's it.
Um,
That's his opinion.
Because look, I'm not being funny. There is better left backs out there. Look, Joe Linton can't even get a pay rise, and he's on more money than Joe Linton is. And Joe Linton's,
That's
you know,
great.
and Joe Linton should be on a pay rise. But look, yeah, Target's definitely one that's got to go in the summer. And you know, we keep mentioning the FFP. We could have had a free agent last summer. We could have had a left back as a free agent, Grimaldo.
Yeah,
And you know,
agree.
and I mentioned this in numerous transfer shows last year as well. Even last January, that he was coming out of contract. Why on earth we were never in there for him, or any other team, to be honest with you. I'm surprised, even the top 6 Premier League side, like even Arsenal or Liverpool, because this guy is a cracking left back. I know Liverpool's got Robertson, but you know, he's a cracking left back, and he's pulling up trees now for Leverkusen. He's absolutely quality, and we could have had him on a free, and that would have helped us in the left back department, and we wouldn't have had Lewis Hall then.
Well, I mean, that's his opinion, Derek. You know, everybody's entitled to have their opinion, man.
Uh,
What is your opinion, brother? What is your
I was the first person on Tony's show to bring Grimaldo up.
There we go. Well,
Well, there you
but-
go.
but-
So
you're
so
making
that's
it, so
why
you agree with him.
that's why Target's a
Grimaldo.
Okay, so we got to move on. So we can't stay on one player for 10 minutes.
But we haven't asked Mason yet.
Oh yeah, Mason, you got to jump in,
Yeah.
man. The food's on the table, Mason. Don't act shy.
Nice try, Pierre.
Yeah, okay.
What was the question again?
Matt, before we got to move on fast.
Target.
Matt Target. Is it a flop or a success?
Flop.
Okay, hey, that's it. Simple. Mighty win. Finish up. Okay,
Injuries have cost him.
there it is. Mighty wins. Quick.
Matt Target's success.
Okay.
What?
And most people say
It's
success. Though.
seriously.
Roy, you don't say success?
And
No, I tell you what.
again,
No.
cannot help being injured.
No, yeah, you. Well, no.
No,
We don't know that. We
Yeah,
don't
you
know
have
that.
to measure it, mate. You have to measure it. How do you measure it? Is how much you paid for and how much you're getting back. So I
15 mil.
paid for Aston Martin, but I got a Ford Fiesta. But if I paid for a Ford Fiesta, I'll be happy with it.
You didn't pay for an Aston Martin. You paid 15 million quid.
Yeah, and he's paying
What-
100,000 a week.
Yes,
Yeah, but
and
paying-
the 100,000 a week, and I think quite rightly was reward for what he'd done in keeping us out of the championship and into where we finished up 11th or whatever it was we finished.
Yeah,
Alright.
but mate,
That was
listen.
reward. That was reward.
Okay,
Yeah,
we got to
wait,
move
I'll-
on. We got to move on. Finish.
Well,
Roy, please.
I've got a small example. 2018, I was working somewhere and I was amazing. 2019, I did a cook up. I got sacked. He's not going to go and say, "Oh, but he was amazing 2018." No, you were amazing 2018. That's why you had the job. You were shit in 19. That's why you're sacked.
All
And
right.
that's
Yeah,
target.
yeah. Hang on, Roy. If you get injured on the job, what
Damn it.
happens to you?
Oh,
What?
God.
Me?
If
Depends
you
what
get
it is.
injured on the job, what happens to you?
Well,
You get sick here.
All right. Well,
You get
well,
sick here, you get
oh,
insurance.
this is going. This
That's
is
what
going on the
happened.
cliffhanger.
Target got injured, for God's sake, man.
All right. Well, and listen. Okay. So just raise your hand real quick before 'cause we're talking about
okay. I
target
tell you
like
what,
he is
let's.
like he is
Okay,
Beardsley.
maybe we can put target as a gray area because
But no,
it's
no,
not
it's
as
good,
bad
man.
as
But this is
we've
democracy
got
here,
more.
man.
We've got more. We've got more. The list
I,
is long. We've got more rubbish players
yeah,
coming up. I
we got
know.
more. Roy,
So we can put
everybody,
target in a grey one.
raise your hand if you think Matt Target is a flop. So 2, 3, and so you
There
lose.
you
There you
go.
go. There you
Derek,
go.
you by
All
yourself, mate.
right, we got to move
The
on. We
voice
got to move
of
on.
reason.
We got to move on. Sandro Tonali. Sandro Tonali, 55 million euros from Milan, July 2023. What I mean, obviously we know the ban. Should he have known? Could he have known about it? I mean, obviously his part of his job or his scouts that are under him is to make sure the player, is right in all areas. Or the more that you got to do your research. Now, was it enough to find out? Did they? We just don't know. But do you guys have? Would you guys categorize this as a flop?
For me, no.
No, because look, Tonali's top notch. He really is. When Milan was selling him, it was a bit of a surprise, if I'm honest.
Ma-
We all thought Nicola Barella was the player coming in, and then Tonali was mentioned straight away. But look, maybe we didn't do enough due diligence in looking into his history, into his background. But players are good at masking stuff like this. And I know people are conspiracy theorists out there are saying, oh, well, Milan must have known about this. Maybe Milan didn't know he had a gambling addiction because players can hide it. Look how much Merson used to hate his gambling addiction. So, look, from Arsenal, but yeah, so maybe Milan didn't know anything about it, and nobody would ever know if they did or not. And that's the thing; you can never prove things like that. I wouldn't say he's a flop because look, the games he played really well. There was times when he wasn't really playing that well, but maybe because that was hanging over him. And if you've got something like that hanging on your shoulders all the time, then it's going to weigh really heavy and it's going to affect your performance. Now that's out in the open. Before he got the ban, when it was out in the open, he did sort of play well when he came on. I think next season we'll have one of the best midfielders in the Premier League next season, and I'll tell you that now, we will do. And I can't wait to see how he does next season because I think it'll be like a brand new signing next season. He's
Right.
got rid of the baggage, he's got a clean slate, and he starts afresh. And
All
I
right.
think he'll be absolutely terrific.
And I believe I actually think he has the same qualities of Andrea Pirlo, and you know what I mean. So I think that, in my opinion, he's going to be top class. So I wouldn't. You know what though? I mean, listen. At the end of the day, this could be as simple as this. Ashworth knew, but at the end of the day, he said, "You know what? This kid is going to be top class. So we're gonna take care of his problem, and we're gonna, we're gonna fix it, and let's get him in." Yeah, that could have happened as well. And so now, is that fair to like maybe a player that's not as good that you just bring him in to fill a spot to be a sub for a long time? Maybe they don't get the same treatment as a player, as a top class player. So with Diego Maradona, that's one of the easiest examples we can go to. But ultimately, it is what it is, man. Yeah, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So Tonali would say he's a success. The Chronicle says he's a flop, though. You guys might want to read a bad review. Mighty Win
What
say,
does Mason say?
huh?
What does
Mason, what?
Mason say?
Mason, what's up? What do you think about Tonali, mate?
Nothing. Oh,
Agreements.
it's hard because we've only seen him for like a few games. And how my job, and I settling in a new country, and the kid can't even speak a word of English.
Yeah, well.
I'm on the fence.
All right. Well, he's on the fence.
Um,
But I think most will say that raise your hand if you
Whoa,
think Tonali.
whoa! I haven't
What?
even started here.
Yeah, I know, but
Mason,
go-
Mason
what?
Splinterboom there. Yes, because the reason we're talking about Tonali is because it was an Ashworth signing.
Right.
So you could lay the blame at Ashworth for not being aware that the Italian FA had this sort of Damocles hanging over Tonali. To think for 1 second that AC Milan weren't aware of these upcoming betting charges is naive in the extreme.
I think they knew.
It's so naive, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think they knew.
So AC Milan knew all about it. Tonali obviously knew all about it.
Well, obviously.
Why did we get Tonali for 50 million quid when a fair market price for the current captain of the Italian under-23 side, under-21 side at the time, current market value, easy 60, 70, 80 million, and we got him for 50 million.
Because I'm sure Ashworth did his due.
Well,
He got
the
his. He got a
Newcastle,
discount. He got a
the,
discount.
the Newcastle board must have thought, hey, Ashworth's done a fantastic job here getting him for 50 million quid.
Oh yeah, and then listen. I've said that before. I praised him. And I
So,
think he was cheap. He's cheap for that price.
but I
He-
believe Ashworth did that in all honesty and all naivety because
no, I think
because
no, man.
when Tonali's signing his contract, he's not going to own up.
Of course he's
And
not.
when Milan are signing the contract,
Of
they are
course,
not going to own up to having any knowledge about the
I will say.
situation.
I will say this. I will say this. I think that in today's football world, you as a scout or as a DOF in this case,
Well,
uh,
I
you
will
should
say
have
this.
people know. You should
I
scout.
will say this. It will astound me if the Newcastle United football, or the PIF legal team, is not now beavering away to say, right, this is how much we want back from AC Milan.
Well, they're not going to get nothing.
And they will get it.
No, they won't. No, they won't.
Because there is no doubt in my mind at all that both contracts, the contract between Newcastle United and Milan and the contract between Newcastle United and Andrew Tonali, would have included a very, very standard phrase in any contract that you sign in business, which is, are you aware of any reason which would negate this contract? And they have signed that at the time they signed it, knowing what they knew at the time, and they've signed it.
Yeah,
So
I
there's
mean,
nobody telling me that both parties, Tonali and AC Milan, were not aware of what was going on. So there's money to be made for the tune there.
all right. Well, we'll see
As
what
for
happens.
Tonali, the player, the idea that he was going to come in and play as a six is nonsensical because you very, very astutely compared him to Pirlo, and that's exactly the sort of player Tonali is. He's not a six.
You say did you say you stupidly compared him?
No. I said you properly compared him. I
Oh,
can't.
okay, there. I thought
No. I said
did,
you.
did anybody did
I
anybody
said,
say did anybody
I
heard
said
that?
you astutely
Oh, I thought you
compared
said
him.
stupid. That's a Jordy accent, man. Sorry about that. I didn't. I was like,
Astutely
I said,
compared him to
listen. I
Pirlo.
thought this guy is losing his
Because
mind. If
the
he says,
one
if he's
thing Tonali is not is a DM.
no, I know that. But
And
listen,
He's
to
a
I
number
play him
8.
at
He's a
DM,
I
number
thought.
8.
but lots of people are saying we should be playing Tonali DM
No,
and Bruno
no,
uh,
he's a Pirlo.
number 8,
All right.
and
Well,
it's nonsense.
it is. It is.
Tonali is never a DM in his life.
That is right. And again, just to finish with this, because we got to talk about the match in the weekend. The jury's still out on Lewis Hall. Well, obviously, we don't know. He's been performing really well, though. Lewis Hall is academy player, but at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know if I would give Ashworth this one because Eddie Howe is supposed to be looking at the youngers and the young lads, and so he decides whether this kid bring him up. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say that that's an Ashworth. Uh, I guess
Um,
You,
suggestion.
this one is the worst one.
Chris, you just said
Yeah.
academy, didn't you?
Huh?
You just said academy, didn't you?
Right.
Yeah.
Lewis Hall.
Was he not an academy player?
No,
No.
That's
From
Smiley.
Chelsea on loan.
We got Lewis Hall from.
Oh, I'm
freaking
sorry. I'm
Chelsea.
sorry. I thought I read Lewis Miley. I apologize.
Yeah.
I thought about so
Lewis Hall.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for the confusion. Lewis Hall.
That's the worst signing. for me.
Well, hold on. We don't know that though. You know why? In this particular case, Roy, because Eddie Howe doesn't rate him, in my opinion. And if you bring a manager, a player
That means Ashworth is the one who bought him.
I know that. So what I'm saying is, if I think a player is good, I bring him into the club. The manager doesn't want him, he won't play him, and so you really don't know if he's good or not. Now,
Well-
you can, in the same token, say, is Eddie going to shoot himself on the foot and not play him if he's good? So there's both
Well-
arguments there.
Thing is, for me, that brings you back to the same point. Could be the right player, but 100% is the wrong time as well. So Champions League campaign, you bring this kid. Didn't need them. We've got about 30 left backs in the team who can't get a game, and you bring this kid on loan from Chelsea. We didn't need him. He might come good. I don't think so. And maybe Derek's theory is right, though. We're not playing him, so we'll end up paying 25 instead of 35 million.
Right.
Fine, but I've seen he played that Man U game. He was alright. Rest of the games, he looks shit. Sometimes he's playing now up front. He played good against us, and when I saw him last game of the season. So, but again, flop. Yeah, flop.
All right. Anybody else want to get a take on this quickly because we got to move into the match.
Well, I'm not
Yeah.
going to trot over all ground again. I've told you why I think Lewis Hall hadn't played this season, and it's got nothing to do with Eddie not rating him. It's to do with how much we're going to end up paying for him. Because when we actually signed Lewis Hall, we had Byrne, part of the best defence in the country. We had Target backup, who we knew from prior times could do a job at left back. And we even had Dummett, who's, he's criticised by loads of people, but Dummett is
Derek.
We signed Hall then for the future. He was 18 years old. We signed him for the future.
Derek,
wrong time of the season. Wrong time in campaign.
Against Man U, he played Al Reed.
Derek.
Al Reed against Man U. He was fantastic against Man U.
Derek.
No,
Listen, this is your brain talking to you. Listen, listen, Derek, be nice to the lads. Listen, if
Spoiled my piss when I listened to the other thing.
Mate.
Listen though.
Wait, Derek.
No,
but the thing is,
if
we're in the Champions League.
But hold on.
Right, I've already agreed that for me in the summer, priority should have been first team strengthening.
But hold on.
No, I haven't got an argument.
Can I say?
But what we're arguing about now is Dan Ashworth's signings.
Uno, can I say Uno thing, please? Look, if I get a player, you say you don't think that he doesn't rate him, he just doesn't want to play him because we're going to play this much money.
No, I don't. I think that's wrong.
I know.
Everybody's saying Eddie doesn't rate him. I think he does rate him.
But he doesn't.
No.
If he rated him, he would say, "I need this kid. I'm going to pay whatever I need to pay, and then I'm going to play him."
It's not this. December.
We've been desperate, but we haven't been that desperate because we've had big then.
December, Dan Burn got injured, and he still wouldn't get a game. And in a few games, we saw Richie come on, and he's still on the bench, and he never got a game. And then
because we don't want to pay the money.
No, mate. You want to lose 3-4 games in a row of 10 million quid? No chance. And then he could have waited and not play him when the lads are back.
Okay,
I bet you a camel. Male camel with 2 big balls.
Woo.
He's
I
not
will,
going to be here next season. He's going to be
I
gone
will,
and back
I
to
will
Chelsea.
maybe concede that he could have played, he could have brought Hall on in desperate circumstances and used up yet one more of his quote unquote performance related conditions.
All right, listen, we got to talk about the
And
match.
I'll take your Camel's 2 balls and give you my Camel's 4 balls that he will be here next season.
Okay.
Look.
Deal.
Okay.
Can I just quickly say, Chris?
Yes, Tony.
Yeah.
He's
Right, Lewis Hall. The best game Lewis Hall probably played was against Man U at Old Trafford. Right now,
No, Tony, he was just Al Reed.
Oh yeah.
other than that, because he scored a cracking goal in that game. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But other than that, he's flattered to deceive. Against Dortmund, he got that yellow card in the first half, and he was rightly taken off at half time by Eddie Howe because he was a red card waiting to happen. He would have picked up another booking in that second half. How
But
he
he
could
took
have
one
picked
for
that
the
up very
team.
early or
He
very
took one
late.
for the team. I was there.
But look,
And
I look at him right, and I just think, for me, he's not really done it. And yes, I know he hasn't had a lot of opportunities. But if there is a chance he can go back to Chelsea, I would say cut the losses and send him back,
Right.
and get a better left back in, because look, he can't get in the team if you've got Livramento, who's not a natural left back, but he gets ahead of him. So what is the point of Lewis Hall being at Newcastle? Okay, he doesn't take up a Premier League squad place because he's under 21. So that's the one bonus you've got on that. And we know he did have a great game against us last season when he played for Chelsea. But I know there's a lot of Chelsea fans out there want him back at Chelsea. They said because we're wasting him. But again, the end of the day, Eddie may not rate him. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know what's going through Eddie Howe's mind. Nobody knows. But apart from Eddie Howe himself. But at the end of the day, whether he signs or not in the summer, we'll see what happens in the summer. We can all argue till the cows come home saying he's got this clause, he's got that clause, there's that, something to that, till the cows come home. But wait and see what happens in the summer. If he goes back to Chelsea, we know there's been a clause that we haven't triggered and he's gone back to Chelsea. But we'll wait and see then. But as I say, it's no good arguing over the toss whether he's got this clause or that clause. Let's wait and see at the end of the season. That's the best way to do it. And as I say, look, I don't, if the lad does go back to Chelsea, I wish the lad well, because his dad's a Newcastle fan, things like that. But at the end of the day, if we don't think he's good enough for our club, then we've got to look better and beyond him. And I'm afraid that's just me being honest and not, So
would
I agree with that.
would you rather or rather not sign Lewis Hall in the summer?
Quickly,
I would say no, not this minute in time, no.
Well, I would.
No for me.
All
right. So you say, Derek?
I would definitely sign him in the summer. Well,
Okay.
I don't think I've got an option as it happens anyway.
All right.
But
anyway,
that's why I think it's going to be here.
I know.
That's why I've got 4 Camel's balls up.
There we go. All right, let's move on. Everybody loves your rants. By the way, everybody's commenting. Derek's rants are mint, whatever that means in UK English. Listen, we got to move on to Arsenal Newcastle this weekend. I appreciate everybody's support. We got 63 people watching live. Come on, smash the like button. Let's get to as many as we can.
Come on.
That way more Magpies can come on. Come on, smash the like button. Let's get to it. Let's reach 50, 60 likes. Come on, help us out. Listen. We got to talk about Arsenal and Newcastle. Well, Newcastle mainly, really, to play against Arsenal, but we're away. The Gooners are back in top flight action, looking to make amends for a blunt Champions League showing in the midweek, which saw them fail and register not even a single shot against the team. Who they play? Porto. They lost, 1-0 to them. So they're going to want to get, sort of a revenge and, of course, stay in the fight for the Premier League. Now, Newcastle's defense is one of the weakest in the league and have not kept a clean sheet in 2024 yet. But 2 wins and 2 draws from their last 4 suggest Eddie Howe's team have shaken off their miserable results of late December and early January. The previous meeting between these two teams saw Newcastle win in a controversial fashion after Anthony Gordon winner and lack of possible red cards and led to VAR audio being released and rant from Mikel Arteta and an eyebrow-raising statement from Arsenal over the standing of refereeing in that match. There was outrage. They were crying for months and months, and they're still crying now. So it's going to be chippy at the Emirates Stadium. It's going to be there. I'm assuming. I'm not going to guarantee a red card, but I know there's going to be it's going to be a fighting game. It's going to be a wrestling type match at their stadium. And we got tough. Well, I don't know. I mean, our toughest guy is not going to be there, Joe Linton, and I'm not really too worried about Arsenal's atmosphere. I mean, it's not really that. To me, it's all about football. To be honest with you, they are playing, you would say, better this season than us. That's just the way it is. They don't excite me over the moon. You know what I mean? But they're fighting for the Premier League. We're not at this point. I'm gonna go one by one and to get your take on how we beat Arsenal, and then we're gonna talk about the lineup, and then predictions, and then man of the match predictions, and all that stuff. So, Roy, how do we beat Arsenal? How do we do this?
Start with don't play Dan Burn on the left unless it's 3 at the back and you've got Livramento with him. So you play either 3-5-2 with Livramento as left full wing back. You need to drop the slackers, so you need to drop Longstaff in the middle. So that's the one. So Livramento replaces Longstaff in the starting lineup. Another option was try to use maybe Miggy on the left to help that left side, because Saka, you can't stop him. So that's the only way. And it's going to be shit horsey football. You're gonna you got to be back to Eddie's 4-3-3. We're going to get battered, 100%. Our 3 midfielders can't compete with theirs. They're playing at home. We beat them somehow in the first game, but this is not the same 2 teams that they were about 3-4 months ago. They've improved a lot, and we're not been consistent since. So that's the only way.
All right. Mason, what do you think?
Agree what Roy said. Obviously they've played better than us this season, and I had that sucker punch 94th minute winner from Porto last night. Will that decrease their confidence going into Saturday's game to try and get towards the top? And obviously we know Liverpool are in the Carabao Cup final against Chelsea on Sunday, so it's a chance of Man City and Arsenal to try and get to the top. Arsenal will be wanting to wear in the goal, but the fact is, last night took a punch, 94th minute winner. Will their confidence be up on Saturday? It just depends, really.
Yeah. The mighty win. This is your moment to shine, man.
Well, we've already talked about this, haven't we? I have been Eddie's biggest defender ever. I will not have a bad word said against Eddie. But on Saturday, if he doesn't go 5 at the back and stiffen the midfield, if we keep that same 3 in midfield, we will be torn apart. But unlike everybody else, I think Eddie does know what he's doing. And on Saturday, he will go 3 at the back, 5 at the back. And I think Roy's suggestion of sticking Miggy on the left side of midfield and dropping Longstaff is a really innovative and clever idea. I hadn't thought of it till Roy mentioned it to me, and
Genius, mate.
I think yeah, absolute genius kid.
Thank you.
Uh, because the one thing you can never fault Miggy for is his work rate. And he will work like a little busy bee wherever he's sent. And I think we should play 5-4-1. Or a variation of it. What I'm saying is, if Eddie sticks with 4-3-3 with my man on the left back, I'll begin just begin to question his tactical nous.
And you know what? I got a question after Tony's for you, Derek. After Tony finishes his point on how we're going to beat Arsenal. So we're going to get back
I
to that.
still
But go
think
ahead,
we'll
buddy.
beat them, because by the way, Newcastle are notorious. Look at when we played Villa. Nobody gave us a prayer against Villa,
All right, you're right.
and that is typical Newcastle United. That when we're expecting to get turned over, we win, and we're expected to win, we don't.
All right, Tony.
Yeah, I mean, look, we know it's going to be a tough game. Arsenal are fighting for a title, and you know, yes, they've been scoring for fun lately, but you know, we can get at them. Last season, we proved that at the Emirates. I know we had a totally different team last season, because we didn't have the injuries, but we were dogged down there, and we dug in, and we got a 0-0 draw. Both sides had chances to score in that game. Yes, we beat them at St James's Park with that controversial goal, as these Arsenal fans keep pulling up now, even 112 days later. But look, if we go down there with the right attitude and game plan, and we execute that game plan, then, there's a possibility we can come away from that game with a draw. If we go into that game too complacent, we will get hammered. And I'm not just talking 2 or 3-0. I'm talking probably 4 or 5. So we've got to go in that game. We've got to go in that game not complacent. Show the respect to Arsenal. Not too much respect to them, no, obviously. And go into that game with a belief that we can come away with at least a point from that game. Because it's always a positive. Even if it's a draw, it's a positive. Like I always say, a point's always a positive. Don't look at it as a negative. A negative's when we've lost and you don't get any points. I can see it being a tough game. Arsenal are going to come at us. Saka, we know, is a very fast player. Last season, Dan Burn got help off Joe Willock, but we haven't got Joe Willock. Now, he might be fit, but I wouldn't start him. I wouldn't even start Isak in this game if they're both fit. I would start them off on the bench because I don't want any players getting any more injuries. I don't want them risked. I would rather, if they were going to keep them for the Blackburn game. But maybe bring them off and give them some minutes in their legs. But as I say, if it was me for Saturday to play in that back four, I would say, because obviously Derek says let's play a back five, and I agree with Derek saying play a back five because you've got that option with Cher who can play in a defensive midfield role as well. Because but if I'm honest, I would say if we're going to go with a 4-3-3, drop Burn, put Livramento there, up against Saka, because at least Livramento's got the pace to keep up with Saka. And we know Livramento's had a couple of games where he's been burnt out. Like, for pace of a couple of players being skinned, as we say. But that's because he's came on as a sub. But if he was playing a full game from the start, then he'll get used to the way Saka's playing.
Yep.
And it's no disrespect to Burn, by the way, because, Burn's played well for us. But then we know Eddie Howe won't do that. He will play Burn on Saturday, regardless. He will play Longstaff on Saturday, no matter how much we want Longstaff dropped and we want to see Almiron in that midfield three. That will never happen. I've always been crying out for the last 12 months to have Miggy on the left. If you look at Miggy's stats in the MLS, he comes in from the left. His stats are incredible. When he started for us, he played 9 games under Rafa Benitez before Benitez went. And where did Benitez play him? On the left, in his rightful position. Cabachit just played him here, there, and everywhere because Cabachit's got no tactics apart from go to the local kebab shop. Or down Greg's for a bacon sandwich. And Eddie Howe wants to play him as an inverted winger. But when he played against Man United this season in the Carabao Cup on the left-hand side, Miggy looked a better player. And I will say, thank Christ for that. We've seen Miggy on the left-hand side, but now we're seeing him back on the right. And I don't like him on the right because he's got to shift from right foot to left foot to get a cross in. By the time he does that, the players are on top of him, and he's basically smothered out of the game. So, I would like to see that with what Roy's saying. Put him in that midfield three, on the left of the midfield three, or put him in the centre of the midfield three, maybe. But again, we're not going to see that because Eddie will not change the way. He will not change it. Eddie will not. Yep. And it doesn't matter how much Longstaff has a stinker of a game, Eddie will not change it. Which is a shame, really, in a way. But I suppose that's the way it is, and we know Eddie. We know Eddie will go with his 4-3-3. He won't play 5 at the back. Unless Arsenal do score and then he has to play 5 at the back, or if we're winning that game, he may then revert to a 5 at the back, like we did against Villa. When we smothered them as well, so because the threat of Leon Bailey. So again, we'll just have to wait and see what happens on Saturday. But if he's going to play 4-3-3, I would rather he rested Dan Burn on the bench and played Livramento in his place. And I'm sorry, Derek, I know you won't agree with that because but at the end of the day, I'm just thinking of it from a perspective where the pace of Saka, at least Livramento can keep up with him, where Burn can't. And whoever's on the left, maybe Harvey Barnes, will he come back and help out Dan Burn? That's the thing. That's my take on that. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. I'm gonna ask this question to Derek. Where's the damn question? I thought I started. But the question was actually, I remember it. So now you said that I think it was David R. Who put that question, man. I'm sorry if I missed it. But the question is, you said that the Eddie Howe you would start to question him, even though you think he will change against Arsenal, right? But, and if we lose and he doesn't change, you would certainly start changing your opinion on him, correct?
Obviously, if we win, you can't argue with whatever he's done,
right?
But if he doesn't change, and we get beat,
but hold on,
especially if we get like hammered.
Yeah, so it's this question.
Then I will. Obviously, you've got to.
Listen, hold on, but let me ask the question. Don't argue. I haven't asked the question yet, man.
Sorry,
stop arguing. I was just setting up the question. You're arguing with yourself. All right, listen.
Go for it, man.
So now that I confirmed that you would say that, if Burn plays on the left and we lose and he doesn't succeed and he doesn't perform, would you then also change your perception about him playing him on the left side, or would you?
So you're talking about if Eddie plays a flat back 4,
right,
with Burn on the left, and we get crucified, will I blame Dan Burn for that? No, I won't.
No, not Dan Burn's fault.
No, I'm not saying that. So look, the question is, would Derek continue to start burn at left back if we keep conceding multiple goals every week, mostly down the left side. So, what do you think about that? You would put the blame on Eddie Howe.
I will continue supporting Dan Burn because it ain't Dan Burn's fault. It's the midfield fault. We ain't got a midfield right now. It's non-existent. There's no cover. There's no nothing. We haven't got when fucking hell, man. Who's the left winger now, man?
Bukayo Saka.
No,
Martinelli.
our left winger.
No, I'm sorry.
Barnes.
Barnes.
Harvey
that-
Barnes.
Harvey Barnes. Sorry, I thought you were talking about.
Sorry, boys. Barnes does not do the tracking back that Gordon used to do.
That's why you need Miggy on the left.
Well, that's why I thought that was a brilliant
Yeah.
suggestion, Roy. I've already said that.
And then Gordon, if Isaac's fit, Gordon
And
can go on
then
the right.
Barnes can concentrate on attacking. I think that's a fabulous idea. But that still revolves around 5 at the back and 4 in midfield. And it still revolves around Longstaff
Yeah.
leaving the premises.
I think Longstaff needs to be dropped that game.
Well,
That's
I do
one.
too.
Yeah. Not Miggy. Longstaff.
As much as that hurts me,
No, but it doesn't have to hurt that
But
much,
it's-
man.
It's
Why
not
does
gonna
it hurt?
happen.
Why does it hurt? Damn. It doesn't have to hurt that much,
why
man.
does it hurt? Because Longstaff's effect on the team,
It has no effect.
he had every effect on the team. But it's Longstaff when J7 or Willock, and obviously a bit of Miggy in form, when they are there, Longstaff allows Bruno to play where he should be playing all the time, in my opinion, which is a number 8, not a number 6. He's completely wasted as a 6. Bruno should be playing 8. End of story. Any team that pays 100 million for him, and they'll have to pay 100 million plus, by the way, if they do get him. But if they do, there's no doubt in my mind at all that they're going to be playing him as an 8 and not a 6.
Yeah.
Nobody's signing Gamoras as a 6.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, at this point, we have to play who we got. I mean, we can't. We
Well,
can't really do more.
here we go again. Exactly. We've got to play what we've got.
No, yeah, in a certain position.
Yeah,
I'm not saying. I never said play Bruno. I play Bruno in a different position. I think Bruno he can do it. Right. He's not going to be the best DM. He's not going to be a Casemiro at Real Madrid.
He's not a DM, man. The story. That's why he's got 20 cards.
But he's been doing all right. He's been doing all right.
He hasn't been doing all right.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. He needs help from Longstaff, who you don't want to drop because he's a damn Geordie. Say it with your chest.
I don't want to drop him.
He does. No, he does want to drop him.
I just said I want to drop him.
Yeah, but he says it hurts. Why does he say it hurt? Why does it have to hurt, Roy? Why does he say it hurts to drop it? Just drop him, man.
Because we do want to see. We want to see the Geordie lads do well for the team.
No. Truthfully, it's got absolutely nothing to do with the fact that he's a Geordie. Seriously, honestly, hand on heart, it's got nothing to do with the fact that he's a Geordie. It's simply that when Longstaff got injured, we went on it. I could never fathom what Longstaff did. I had no idea what Longstaff did. I wrote a big article in the mag about what Longstaff did or didn't do, in my opinion.
It doesn't do an out, man.
And
runs a bit.
And I could never say it, but all I knew was that when Longstaff played, we got results. And when Longstaff got injured, all of a sudden, we stopped getting results.
Man, we ain't
So
been getting results.
I thought
you're gonna ignore that he's been playing for the last 4 months.
I do not think this very often. I thought, fuck me, I may be wrong. I may be wrong. No, I don't think that very often. But when we started playing so badly and losing all these games when Longstaff was injured, I thought, well, maybe all these people are right and I'm wrong. I've never seen anything that he does other than run and mark the centre circle and mark the referee. I've never seen anything that Longstaff's ever done. But I had to concede that I was wrong. I was wrong because obviously he is doing something that's having an effect on the team. In fact, Craig Hall of the Daily Mail, he did a brilliant article one day where he invented a new football position. And the new football position that he invented was facilitator. And he came up with the fact that Sean Longstaff was the best facilitator in the league. And I thought that was incredible. I was well pleased with that. I thought, oh, hey, Craig, you've excelled yourself there, son. Anyway, so I took it on board. I says, I am wrong. Everybody else is right. Sean Longstaff is a great player, and he does stuff for the team that I'm just simply too stupid to see.
No, listen.
Now, since he came back, I've watched him, and he's doing exactly the same thing again. We're doing nothing because he hasn't got J7 with him. He hasn't got Willock with him. He hasn't got Tenali with him. And he can't do it on his own. Sadly, because he is a joy.
But let me say, no. Yeah, you see, now you had to put that at the end. Look,
and
with all the respect, Roy, go ahead, man. You actually go. Because he's not going to listen to me. He's going to listen to you.
I just think he's lazy and he hasn't got. He hasn't got. I'm going to say he hasn't got a really good footballing brain. That's all.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah. So he does hide. He hides, and lately he's been going down really easy, getting touched, and he's down. And you look at his stats, and then you'll see. I remember once, and the stats said he had 18 passes, 17 of them were right, like what do you call it, completed passes. All the passes were like 2 meters, the closest one. So all he does, he gets the ball off Trippier, pass it to Miggy, or gets it from Miggy, pass it back to Trippier, or gets in the middle and there's nobody there, and there's Bruno, give it to Bruno, and just stand there like a twat.
Everybody make Derek feel good and put the Derek emoji on your chat. Come on,
smash listen.
We like him though. We like him.
Sean Maley's football brain is that big.
Yep.
Miggy's football brain is that big.
That big.
And Longstaff's football brain is, I'll just say about normal.
But okay.
But he had nothing special.
I think you have an issue agreeing with Americans then, because we agree, man. No, we're saying the same thing. Just take him out.
He's not a top half Premier League team player.
He is. Yes, that's disrespectful. That he is a top half Premiership player. He would walk into Crystal Palace side or a
I could agree with that.
No, Palace are not top half Premier League player. I'm talking about being those teams in top 10.
Yeah.
I think he'd be in the bottom 5 teams. Probably, I would say he wouldn't even get a game for Wolves.
If we talk about top ties,
hang on. I'm not gonna have anybody dissing Longstaff. Longstaff is okay. He's not where we want to be. But I tell you what, if we want to offer Longstaff to, for example, I don't know, let's say we wanted Ezzy from Crystal Palace.
I would have him in a heartbeat over Longstaff.
So would I. But let's say we want to offer Crystal Palace. We want Ezzy from Crystal Palace. We say, right, we'll give you. So they want whatever 80, 90 million. And we say, well, I'll tell you what, we'll give you 50 million and Sean Longstaff. They would take that in a heartbeat.
Aye, because they would love to have the 50
they
million.
They wouldn't, Derek, because you'd be lucky in the summer if you get 25 million for Longstaff, because he's only got a year left on his deal. He's only got a year left on his deal. So if we ask for too much money, Longstaff will wait till January, and then he can talk to clubs abroad and get a pre-contract agreement. And
I'm
then
not
we lose him for
disputing
nothing.
about that, but we're talking about two different things here. We're talking about players' contracts and different things. What I'm saying is, McTominay. How much did Man United want for McTominay?
40 million.
Because I put Longstaff on the same level as
No.
McTominay.
I would have McTominay over Longstaff as well.
Yeah, man.
Well, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I would sell
look,
Longstaff in the summer.
But the thing is, okay, so and we're gonna get into the same discussion. We're
That's only if I can get
Sure.
some proper money.
Shall I tell you
Because-
why we sell
mate-
him in the summer, Chris? I'll tell you why we sell Longstaff in the summer. Not only because he'll have 12 months left on his contract, but for FFP, it's 100% profit because he's come through the academy. So,
Yep.
Longstaff, and the thing is, you can get rid of Longstaff in the summer and you can upgrade on him massively.
We've
Yeah,
already got his replacement.
He's got look at some of his scores. Yes, he scored some good goals this season. You go back last season when we played Leeds United at St James's Park on that December afternoon. He was shocking because he could have at least had a hat trick that day, and every ball he hit went over the bar, past the post. I think you thought he was playing rugby for Newcastle Falcons, never mind Newcastle United.
Yeah, he's got a foot like a rhino, man.
It's easy to pick out one game.
No,
Derek,
it's not one game.
No, he's played a few games.
Derek.
Mate,
Let me ask you,
he's good in 2 out of 10 games. Probably.
Derek. We got 74 people on the chat.
I
Please
agree.
smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the show. 74 people live, so we're doing amazing. And of course, people want to come see Derek. Listen, we don't come on the show every day purposely trying to piss off Derek. He does it on his own. Trust me. And people want to see Derek's rants. But Roy, finish your point. I'm sorry.
Nothing I would love more than Longstaff shutting me up and playing tomorrow and scoring a goal and playing good football. I would love it. And me looking like a knobhead the next day. I would love it.
I'm the
But
same.
you know what happens? Yeah.
I-
You know what's going to happen tomorrow, though? Well, not tomorrow. I keep saying tomorrow. Saturday. It's going to be shite. And then we're going to come on Sunday after the game. and complain about- Saturday night. And we're going to say, Longstaff is shit.
God, I hope Longstaff goes
Let
on.
me ask you this. But
I hope he does.
you know what's crazy, Derek? And I want to ask you a question, but you know what's crazy? He scored when we beat Villa. Not one single fan that I heard of said what a cracking match that he played. Everybody said he played shite.
And what a
scored
straight
twice.
by way.
How do you
Fantastic,
score
right?
twice and play shite? That
Mate, my
is
fucking nan would have scored them.
Problem is,
I would have scored them.
that's one
With
out of
dodgy
30.
knees. And
You say I would have scored it. And let me ask you this, Derek.
I would have scored them with my dodgy knees.
Listen, Derek.
Longstaff
Derek,
against
Stab in my
Luton.
fucking hand.
Derek, hold on.
Longstaff against Luton would have got 2 out of 10 for me.
But he didn't.
When he scored 2 goals, so he gets 8 out of 10.
Oh yeah. But Derek, do you think that any Premiership, because you're old as hell, so you say Premiership instead of Premier League? Listen, do you think that any Premiership team would pay 20 million for a Longstaff? Any?
No, I think that's well, that can be dozens, obviously. There's at least half a dozen who would pay. Current values, at least half a dozen would pay 40 million for Longstaff. At least
40.
Mate, I tell you what, Sheffield United will probably take. It's probably the only team I would think.
Maybe Forest may be dumb enough to pay 40 million.
Look at the stats. Look at the GA.
Mate, it's not shit.
Hey, maybe Forest could buy him for 40 million and then loan him to Olympiacos.
40.
Look at the Newcastle win ratio without him in the team.
Mate, we haven't won a game since Bruno signed without Bruno.
Listen, guys.
It's almost 2 years now.
I don't rate Longstaff.
But damn, you sure are hiding it.
But no. All I'm saying is everybody else his comparables. Go on to FBref or go into who scored and look at all the comparisons, and Longstaff is up there with the best of them. He runs more yards. He has more shots.
All right.
I'll admit. But he scores more goals and has more assists.
Okay. Well, listen, we're
mean-
gonna go ahead, Tony. Finish your point, brother.
Yeah. I mean, look, when we were talking about obviously Mickey Almiron before, saying play him he could play him in the midfield three, or I mean, as I say, going back to before he signed for us in his last season in MLS when he did come over to us, that season he started all 37 games and got 13 goals and 11 assists. Yes, people might say it. Hang on, people might say it's MLS. Fair enough, they can do. And he created 17 big chances. But the thing is, the difference is, that's because he's playing in his natural position on the left and he's drifting from the left into centre midfield. And that's why he was the dog's bollocks in MLS. Because he's not playing in his natural position now. That is why he looks dreadful. If he was playing...
No, not dreadful.
All right. Well, listen, we got to call it off. We had a great show. We're gonna see match reaction right as soon as the match is over with. We're gonna be live. We're gonna do the match reaction, and then Mighty Win he's gonna have to pay for his sins Saturday, or not. Maybe not. Maybe we all were gonna praise him and bow before thy Lord, Derek the Mighty Win. We will see. We have been right before though, and Derek has been wrong before, and he knows.
Never.
But anyways,
when have I
smash
been
like.
wrong? Huh? Whoa! You can't live with that. When have I been wrong?
I'll tell you when you're going to be wrong. End of the season when Lewis Hall is back in London.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Yeah. No,
We gotta finish up. We gotta finish up. We gotta finish up.
Chris is saying I already have been wrong. When have I been wrong?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna prove you that you're wrong. I'm sure Saturday. I don't have the time to go to every single show. Well, one thing you've been back and burn every single week, and he's been shite every week. Let's just keep it that way.
Do you know?
No,
that's not
Bern's fault.
Do you know?
Every week.
And Eddie's fault. Yeah, but quickly finish your point before we go.
Do you know another reason why Lewis Hall may not beat Newcastle next season? Is he has attitude issues. He's been going out clubbing and not coming to training.
Allegedly.
I wouldn't blame him, no.
All allegedly. Listen, it's been a great show.
Yeah,
I appreciate your support.
Allegedly.
If you wanna see clips, you're gonna see this rant right here. That Derek he's had 10 rants throughout the show. Don't let anybody
come with 4 balls.
Exactly. You're gonna be able to watch those small clips.
Balls.
Hold on, let me speak. Subscribe to our clips channel. I just put the link in the chat. Subscribe to it. You're gonna get a lot of short content clips from these shows. It's been an amazing show tonight. Derek, we got to talk backstage, man. You're out of line, brother. You're out of line, man. Is that? Oh, that's what it is.
I am gonna open another bottle.
Yeah.
Are we not doing predictions?
Oh yeah, predictions quickly. I'm sorry. See, that's what I'm saying. Predictions, Roy. What's the score in Man of the Match?
My heart 2-1, my brain 5-0. We're gonna get beat 5-0. My brain and my heart says we're gonna win 2-1.
All right, that's great, Mason. Man of the Match, Roy.
Bruno.
4-balled camel. I can't believe you say that. Anyway, Mason.
Uranium.
That's the Uranian camels, man. Mason.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Arsenal.
This is the first ever score against Newcastle, but he's being logical according to his beliefs. So 3-0. So I don't care man of the match because it's going to be somebody that's not our player.
Because Arsenal are going to play without the park.
Yeah. All right, Derek.
Oh God.
1-0 to.
What was it?
1-0 to.
1-0 to. Who's going to be the man of the match?
Actually, I think Roy's going to canny shout there. I think Bruno has been playing better. He's been playing better the last 4 games since he was under this.
Shame on you, old man. Shame on you.
Well, it's
You
still
been,
going to be
Where's
Longstaff.
been defending Longstaff, been
You,
defending
you
Byrne.
didn't
He's
ask
not
me-
gonna.
you didn't
He's
ask
not
me
gonna
who was
pick
gonna-
them. He's
You
not gonna
didn't
pick
ask me who was going to score the winner.
who's gonna score the winner. That one
Dan
goal.
Byrne. Dan Byrne
Dan
from a
Byrne. All right.
sub-team.
Okay. Damn, man.
Yeah,
Can
if
you
that
believe-
happens, I'm getting you 2 camels.
And yeah, and you know what? We got Roy staying up late for this nonsense, man. That's crazy. Anyways, Tony.
I'm off tomorrow anyway.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. I mean, Tony.
Yeah,
Predictions.
just as well there, Roy. Yeah, look, my heart says 1-1. My heat says we'll get beat 4-1 out. But I'm going with my heart. 1-0. Gordon will grab the goal for us. It'll be a 30-yarder curling shot past Raya. Man the match. If he scores a cracking goal, it'll be Anthony Gordon, I think, because we know what Anthony Gordon's like, and he may even be a legend. He may even take Saka out. So who knows?
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the score. I think it's going to be 2-1 Newcastle. Man of the match. Let me see. Well, I always pick Bruno because he's the only one doing work in that midfield. He's going to have back issues when he retires because all that weight is carrying the midfield. He's carrying Longstaff, poor little Miley, and then he has to carry a little bit big ass Dan Byrne on the side sometimes. So yeah,
You and your South Americans.
he's going to have lumbar problems. We will see you on the next one, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your support. Smash the like button on your way out and subscribe if you're new to the show. Tomorrow, sit down with George Mitchell from NUFC Matters. So tomorrow, 9:30, War George.
Hit that like.
Smash that like button. Smash the like button for Derek. Come on, do it. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
How are the lads?
Hey,